This just in, you can buy Doom Eternal skins with real money now. I'm going to tell you which ones you can buy, how much they are, and then we're going to look at the pros and the cons. Why did this happen? What's going on here? And we're going to take it from a respectful viewpoint and look at the pros and the cons and understand each side. Let's dive right on in. So first of all, you can get the Series 1 cosmetic pack, which is the Ember Slayer, for $9. That's $8.99 that you can purchase. I have some thoughts on that here in just a moment. And you can also get the DOOMicorn Master Collection cosmetic pack for $4.99 or $5. That's about the cost of a meal at a restaurant. Mostly fast food. So I have some thoughts here. The Ember Slayer skin was actually part of Series 1, and you could get it then or in case you missed it event. Now, I noticed that the Oni event was cut short due to an adjustment in the schedule, so this may have been that adjustment. This is just me theorizing here. It does line up, so maybe that's what that plan was. The DOOMicorn was available through Twitch Prime, which also didn't cost anything, well, unless you had Amazon Prime, which is around, I think, $13 a month. USD, so that would come with that. But now you can get this here. So what's the pros and cons? Why was this done? What's going on? All right, so the pros here. People can now get skins that they missed. There's been a lot of requests for this. I mean, everybody has been wanting this Series 1 stuff that I've seen in the community that didn't start playing the game right when it came out, and they jumped on that in case you missed a recent event that we just had, the mini event. And they loved it. It's awesome. They saw that this was their last chance, or so they thought, to get this skin since they missed it the first time, and they jumped right on it. So, much to their surprise, this was not actually their last chance, and that is kind of part of one of the cons. So we're going to go back and forth between pros and cons. Well, first of all, the con, it cost real money. It was free at one time, mostly, as in the case of DOOMicorn. Now, you do have a skin that's a cosmetic that does nothing and pay real money for. Actually, it's good that it's a cosmetic and it costs, because if it was something that gave you an advantage in game and it costs money, that would be a huge uproar. So I'm very thankful it's only cosmetic and it doesn't actually have any impact on your gameplay, especially in battle mode. Can you imagine if there was a pay-to-win type of gun upgrade in battle mode? That's not the right way to go. If it's going to be costful, it's got to be cosmetic. Now, we go back to look. This is, of course, available on console and PC, both on Steam or whatever platform you might be on. I'm just on Steam myself. So thankfully, it's not like modded content to where it's only PC. It's either or both. Now, you don't have to wait as a pro on a time-based event to get this. Thankfully, you don't have to be on a schedule. I was actually talking to someone who was upset that they missed a recent event. You know, they had school in real life and they just didn't get a chance to play like they had wanted to, and so they missed out on the event. And they thought, man, maybe I'll never get this again. And that's something that the community has wondered from the start. What if I miss these skins? Will I ever have a chance to get them again? So they were glad when they did have that opportunity, like the In Case You Missed It. We thought maybe there's more coming. Maybe Season 2, the Hipster Archvile, he's drinking coffee, if you do remember that line. And to have it available is cool. Now, here's the thing. There is another con to it before we get into what I need to, bring my own thoughts on it. This is something that came as a surprise. It really did. Whenever we had the game launched a year ago, the whole community was under the impression, under the pretense, that it wouldn't be a store of sorts. We would have everything unlockable, totally unlockable, in-game, earned through experience and our boosters. In fact, I remember when boosters first came out, people were concerned. They said, wait a minute, we can pay to boost things? Is that how those work? What are boosters? Is this a microtransaction? And the reply was no. It's your friends that you join up with and they get you some experience for them playing the game, and then you can add them and you can get experience for everybody. And people said, great, no microtransactions. That's really something that sets Doom Eternal apart. And it does, in a world where there is a lot of things going on with pay to win and microtransactions in games. I play Clash of Clans. It is something you can buy real money with in the game. And I understand that there are some opposition against that. Now, the biggest point why people are so surprised. I said that we didn't know it was coming. We were under the impression that it wouldn't happen. However, I think there's a reason why. I understand both sides here. Whenever you have something that you don't expect to happen, and it does come as a shock. Look at the recent The Ancient Gods 1 changes. And it was a big surprise because things came at a change 5 months later, and we're like, wow, we're used to it this way. But, after some talks, we are going to have some things reverted, and that's cool. But that was done for pacing. That was a little bit of a different situation than this one. That was the gameplay. But I think the main core point still stands, that we were surprised it was coming and we didn't realize it was, we were under the impression that it would not be the case. So that is why I think some folks are upset. Now, this is different. You actually have the opportunity to get these for free. In fact, in case of the Ember Slayer, you had 2 chances at release and then later on. In the case of the DOOMicorn, it was a Twitch Prime from, I believe, last February. Someone correct me if I'm wrong there, please. And now we can buy them. This is not a pay-only locked skin. This is not something that you can only acquire by money. Now, it is time locked to where if you weren't there at a certain time, you can't acquire it. That is true, but the opportunity still stands and was still there at one point in time. Now, what does this mean going forth for the future? Why was this done? Well, here's the thing. This is not the first microtransaction type that we've seen. The Rip and Tear pack is for $5 and you get the Cultist Space Master level and such, but the difference is these are pre-order and deluxe type of bonuses. These came free if you pre-ordered the game, deluxe edition. That type of bonus is different because this is content that was offered once. If you didn't get that, if you came in late to the game, if you chose not to pre-order deluxe, all of that stuff, you still get that opportunity, but just at a small premium. This is a similar instance to that, except that's actually gameplay like the Cultist Space Master level and other things, and this is just a skin. And that does make it different than gameplay, sure, but let's talk about why I think it was done from a business and monetization standpoint, as I do like finance, and then we'll talk about my own personal opinions if this was the right or wrong thing to do and what we can do in the future. Okay, this paid content helps keep them going. Remember, the base game has come and gone in its sales over a year now. Surprisingly, how's it been that long? The Tag 1 and 2 has had its share coming and going. There are still going to be residual sales, yes, and that is good because it helps keep the company and the game going, but the spark, the initial boom is gone. Now, there was the Switch back in December, and of course, the Ancient Gods 1 and 2 for the Switch coming up in the future, but I think that's just a little different. Whenever you have everything released, you got to remember too here, we have a lot of free content coming, master levels, and much, much more. And this gives id and Bethesda a way to monetize everything moving forward. They don't have anything new and fresh until this point, to my knowledge, of new things that they can make the money off of and to sell. And I get that. As a business, you want to have that income streams flowing in different ways. You want to diversify your income streams. You just don't want just game sales alone. You want merch store sales. You want maybe these skins. You want to have different revenue streams, income streams, whatever you want to call it, coming in, new things that are fresh and keep players interested. And I think moving into the future, we will see more skins that are purchasable like this. It's not uncommon in gaming today to have these skins be like this, although it did set it apart from not having this as an option early on. But like I said, I think I figured out why it was done. So was it the right decision to make? Well, okay, here's the thing about that. If we did not feel like that it would never come, if it was just differently approached, maybe it wasn't supposed to come a year ago, and if it did now, I understand the business side of things. I get that, I do. But it's going to sting for some people. There are going to be some people that are upset that it happened this way, especially if they maybe missed the skin and they want to stay free to play. Well, you're going to have people that are upset on either end. No matter what Bethesda and id will do, there will be people upset. I missed the skin, I have no way to get it. Or, I don't want to pay for a skin, everything was supposed to be free. There is really no middle ground. I understand selling because they don't want to just give it away. Sure, I get that, we had our opportunities. I just wish that it was done a little differently or something to where we didn't say a year ago that it would not be a thing, and it is now. So ultimately, oh man, this is a rough one. I wish that it would have happened differently. We didn't think it was coming, and we were told it wouldn't be, and it's here. Let me know in a civil manner in the comments if you like this, dislike, or you don't care, and like the video to show your support. Check out another video here. I'm Allstin, thanks for watching. The secret phrase is, where's the secret phrase?